Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers admit we're gobsmacked over Jocelyn Joss Jacks, Eden McCoy, jaw-dropping new gig as a covert WSB agent. Yep, Carly Spencer's Laura Wright. Little girl is trading college dreams for espionage. But spoilers warn she's in way over her head already. With danger lurking around every corner and her rookie skills untested, Joss' double life is about to turn her world upside down and the lives of everyone who loves her. Her mom might remain oblivious for a while about what is going on with her daughter, but that doesn't mean she won't notice at all. However, she might be so wrapped up in her own personal life that she writes off her instincts as neuroses. That won't bode well for Joss. How did this happen? 1 minute, Joss is falling in love with Dex Heller, Evan Hofer. The next, she is recruited by WSB Chief Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, for some hush-hush WSB work. Spoilers tease her first assignment hits this week, maybe digging into Sunny Corinthos. Maurice Bernard, latest deal. Picture her fumbling with a wiretap or ducking into Elise, all wide-eyed and clueless. Fans are split. Some cheer her gutsy turn. Others say she's no match for Port Chuck's heavy hitters. Is she cut out for this? Joss might have aced cheerleading, but spy games? Not so much. Spoilers hint she's already slipping. We called that close call with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and his trick question about Easter Island. Will he breadcrumb a few more of those curveballs in her direction until he's certain that something is amiss, or was a single strikeout enough for him to know he needs to tail her until he has a clear picture of what she's up to? Her inexperience is screaming, and with Mama Carly sniffing around, keeping this secret will be tougher than she thought. Will the greenhorn gaffes blow her cover, or can she bluff her way through this long enough to game out her first assignment and see it through? Joss' spy life is a full-on mess. Spoilers promise a heart-pounding twist. Maybe she's cornered by a suspicious Jason or caught in a WSB sting gone wrong. Spoilers tease a cliffhanger. Joss staring down a gun barrel or racing to warn someone she loves as they cover their tracks. She's not ready for this dark side of Port Charles, and it shows. Port Charles, a town known for its fair share of drama and intrigue, is about to see one of its own step into a new and dangerous role. Jocelyn Jacks, the daughter of Carly Corinthos and Jasper Jacks, has always been a staple in the Port Charles community. She's navigated the ups and downs of a privileged life, from growing up in the shadow of her mother's complex relationships to dealing with the turmoil of the Corinthos family. But as Jocelyn begins to grapple with the notion of her future, she's faced with a life-altering decision that will catapult her into a world she could never have anticipated. The covert world of the WSB, the World Security Bureau. When Jocelyn first receives a mysterious offer from the WSB, she is torn. The idea of following in the footsteps of her father and others in her family who have worked behind the scenes of international security appeals to her sense of duty and excitement. Yet she is unaware of how ill-prepared she is for the lifestyle and the kind of challenges she will soon face. The WSB is no stranger to danger, deception, and high-stakes missions, and it's a world where personal lives are often sacrificed for the sake of the job. Jocelyn's training begins in secret, and she's forced to keep her involvement under wraps, even from those closest to her. Her mother, Carly, is always protective, especially after everything that's happened with the Corinthos family. Carly's experience with mob life and its dangerous consequences has made her wary of anything that could threaten her children. She will soon discover that Jocelyn is no longer the carefree teen she once knew. Her daughter is about to plunge into a world where danger lurks around every corner, and she'll have to make difficult decisions that will affect everyone she loves. As Jocelyn navigates the intricacies of her training, she finds herself grappling with the pressure of keeping secrets, the weight of the responsibility she's been handed, and the emotional toll of living a double life. As much as she tries to keep her mission separate from her personal relationships, her new role begins to bleed into her everyday life in ways she never expected. Jocelyn's connections to friends like Cameron Webber and Trina Robinson are tested as she begins to realize that the world of covert operations isn't just about being physically prepared. It's about keeping secrets, lying convincingly, and constantly being on guard. Even
Cameron,
in the most mundane
who has always
moments, been a steady presence in Jocelyn's life, becomes a key figure in her personal struggle. He's noticed a change in her. The carefree spirit he once knew seems to be slipping away, replaced by a more guarded, secretive version of Jocelyn. Her reluctance to open up to him, coupled with her increasing stress, begins to create a rift between them. Jocelyn's attempts to shield him from the truth become more transparent, and the tension between them continues to grow. Meanwhile, Trina, who has always been supportive of Jocelyn, finds herself in a difficult position as she too starts to notice that something is off. Trina, with her perceptiveness and her sharp instincts, senses that Jocelyn is carrying a heavy burden. But Jocelyn is careful, avoiding revealing too much. She's caught in a web of secrecy, unable to confide in the people who matter most to her. The loyalty she feels toward her family and the WSB complicates her relationships, and as the pressure mounts, she begins to question whether she can continue down this path. The most shocking aspect of Jocelyn's new life is the toll it takes on her mental and emotional well-being. The isolation that comes with a covert assignment forces her to suppress her emotions, putting her at odds with her own values. She struggles to balance the ideals of being an agent, doing what is necessary for the greater good, with the need to protect her own sense of self and her relationships with the people she cares about. As Jocelyn becomes more entrenched in the WSB's world, she faces increasingly perilous situations. She is assigned missions that test her resolve and force her to confront her deepest fears. From undercover work that puts her in the heart of enemy territory to situations where she must deceive even her closest allies, Jocelyn quickly learns that trust is a commodity that is in short supply in this line of work. The lines between friend and foe blur, and Jocelyn is forced to make decisions that threaten to compromise her integrity. Each mission pushes her further from the life she once knew, and she finds herself questioning whether the sacrifices are truly worth it. Her evolving relationship with her family also takes a significant hit. Carly, who has always been protective of her children, struggles with the fact that Jocelyn is involved in a world so far removed from her own experience. Carly's fears about her daughter's safety escalate as she learns more about the nature of the WSB's work, and the emotional toll it takes on Jocelyn becomes too much to ignore. Carly's overprotective instincts kick into high gear as she tries to intervene in Jocelyn's life. But Jocelyn remains determined to carve out her own path. Meanwhile, Jasper Jacks, Jocelyn's father, is forced to confront the idea that his daughter is stepping into a world that could potentially be more dangerous than he ever anticipated. Despite his best efforts to protect her, he finds himself in a difficult position, caught between his desire to keep her safe and his understanding of the importance of the work she's doing. Jasper, ever the diplomat, is forced to reconcile the reality of his daughter's choices with his own experiences and the dangerous world he's navigated in the past. Throughout this journey, Jocelyn's strength and resilience are tested. She faces moments of self-doubt and fear, questioning whether she is truly cut out for this covert life. But as she pushes through each obstacle, she discovers a side of herself she never knew existed. A determination to succeed no matter the cost. The lessons she learns along the way shape her into a more formidable person, and though she continues to struggle with the duality of her existence, she slowly begins to find a sense of purpose in her new role. But with every success comes a new challenge, and the stakes continue to rise. Jocelyn's involvement in the WSB's operations brings her closer to the organization's shadowy leadership, and she begins to realize that the agency's objectives aren't always as clear-cut as she had once believed. The further she gets into the world of covert operations, the more she uncovers about the morally grey choices the WSB makes in the name of national security. As Jocelyn's journey unfolds, it becomes clear that she's not just fighting for her own survival, but also for the survival of those she loves. Her relationship with Cameron, Trina, and her family hangs in the balance as she struggles to reconcile her role as a covert agent with their desire to maintain the life she once knew. The emotional stakes have never been higher, and as Jocelyn continues to face the challenges that come with her secretive work, she's forced to make difficult choices that will shape her future and the future of Port Charles. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.